Good evening, everyone. My name is Ian Pla. I am a sophomore at Charles Wright Academy. I'm here today to explain why the Care Foundations of South Sound deserves your support in its fight against one of the scariest words any family can hear, cancer. Cancer is something that truly does touch everyone. Even those of us who are not battling the disease can name a parent, sibling, spouse, cousin, friend, and even a child who suffers from the effects of cancer. In my case, I lost my maternal grandma to gastric cancer and my dad's mom to glioblastoma in the same year. Starting at the age of 3 and throughout my childhood, my parents took me to a little island in the southwest of France, l'Île de Ré, to spend the summers with my maternal grandma. It was a piece of heaven on earth. Food, sun, beaches, bike rides, everything a little kid would dream to have. His grandma and a good life. One summer and a week before I boarded the plane to Paris, we received a phone call from my grandpa, and my grandma Martine was in a coma in a hospital in Bordeaux. To make a long story short, the year when my grandmother got diagnosed with glioblastoma was the most terrifying year for our family. After going 7 times in a year to visit his dying mom in France, my dad lost his mom at the age of 64. It was devastating to all of us, and especially Papi Pierre, who died from a broken heart 3 years after losing the love of his life. As I got older, I started hearing and reading more about the disease that took my mamie away and ruined my summers. I realized that cancer does not care who it attacks. I read about people losing their lives to the disease. To name a few, Senator John McCain, Ted Kennedy, President Biden's oldest son at the age of 46, a friend of my parents at the age of 40, leaving 4 beautiful children behind, and my mamie. Fast forward to last summer, I wanted to volunteer my time and experience what care does to cancer patients. During my time with Dr. Cynical and his staff, I learned about a 39-year-old mom of 2 daughters who have been diagnosed with the same disease that took my grandma's life. The Care Foundations, by doing what no other foundations or oncologists can do, was able to use a vaccine created from the patient's tumor cells that attacks the aggressive growth. After 7 months, several MRI scans showed that for the first time, the mom had a period of time where she is stable. Her quality of life is improved, which provides optimism and hope for their family. I wish care existed when Mamie was struggling. But I'm grateful that they are here standing side by side with families until the end. The Care Foundations work to make sure that patients in the South Sound region have access to leading medical research right here in our community, so that eliminating the hardship of travel allows patients to remain with their loved ones during the treatment while they battle for their lives. But it is a long battle. I'm here today to urge your support for the Care Foundation in its fight against this dreadful disease. Like Mother Teresa said, yesterday is gone, tomorrow has not yet come. We all only today. Let us begin. Please let us begin now and join me and my family to support CARE, Dr. Cynical, and the dedicated researchers who are working tirelessly to search a cure for cancer and who give hope to all of us. Any donation is appreciated. Thank you and enjoy your evening.
Oncopeptides is a global biotech company focused on the development of targeted therapies for difficult-to-treat hematological diseases.
Hello, my name is Eric Loberg, and I am your field representative for Oncopeptides. And I wanted to say we are so very thankful to be part of this amazing community and for the opportunity to support the South Sound Care Foundation.
Just as the South Sound Care Foundation continues to walk alongside our patients, supporting them through the battle for life,
Oncopeptides is honored to support the South Sound Care Foundation. Thank you for your partnership and have a great event.
compassionate use drugs are extremely important. And Care Foundation not only brings the availability to patients to be tested and to learn about their disease, but the access to those drugs, which is not a lot of centers can provide, and amazing. Isn't that neat?
If a patient has the opportunity to participate in a large clinical trial, that may very well be the best option for them. But in this unique situation where there really isn't a trial available, but there is good treatment or exceptional treatment available, the compassionate release trials are a great mechanism.
The compassionate use program brings hope to our patients. Typically, for most patients, the situation becomes when we exhaust most of the FDA-approved treatments. So that's where typically the compassionate use come in. Or sometimes we know that something might be extremely effective, and we can maybe reduce some of the side effects of the more approved treatment options. So then in that case also, that's something we could bring to our patients.
Having access to that kind of system where we can actually access some of those off-label drugs that are proven to be safe and effective in other diseases that could be used in this case, that could actually make a difference in the patient care, is just amazing. In our community, we have access to these drugs because of Care Foundation.
Collaboration really matters in treating patients with cancer. It requires a desire to communicate among doctors and specialists and researchers. And with that collaboration, by discussing patients' situations, their cancer, the molecular makeup of the cancer, their clinical condition, scientists in the lab, immunologists, molecular biologists, can come together with clinicians, with the patient's doctor, and help make really educated, effective decisions regarding the patient's care.
We want to cure cancer. We want to beat cancer so that we can live normal lives and be happy with our families and friends. So I would encourage anyone to support Care Foundation. It's a novel cause. It's for our community members, but it helps anybody outside of our community because the knowledge we get, we learn from this and how we help patients. It also helps others as well, and this is a good cause.
What the South Sound Foundation is providing, the service they're basically providing to our patients, it's something that us as individuals or a group might not be able to do so because they have the expertise, they know the system, they know how to kind of make that possible for our patients.
I'd love to have research in our community kind of united to bring all of us together, to bring the hospital systems, the healthcare systems together, Multicare, CHI Franciscan, our organization, all together in the same, with the same intent to develop clinical research for the Tacoma and South Sound community, including Puyallup, into a major force for fighting cancer.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ian Plock. I am a sophomore at Charles Wright Academy. I'm here today to explain why the Care Foundations of South Sound deserves your support in its fight against one of the scariest words any family can hear, cancer. Cancer is something that truly does touch everyone. Even those of us who are not battling the disease can name a parent, sibling, spouse, cousin, friend, and even a child who suffers from the effects of cancer. In my case, I lost my maternal grandma to gastric cancer and my dad's mom to glioblastoma in the same year. Starting at the age of 3 and throughout my childhood, my parents took me to a little island in the southwest of France, l'Île de Ré, to spend the summers with my maternal grandma. It was a piece of heaven on earth. Food, sun, beaches, bike rides, everything a little kid would dream to have. His grandma and a good life. One summer and a week before I boarded the plane to Paris, we received a phone call from my grandpa, and my grandma Martine was in a coma in a hospital in Bordeaux. To make a long story short, the year when my grandmother got diagnosed with glioblastoma was the most terrifying year for our family. After going 7 times in a year to visit his dying mom in France, my dad lost his mom at the age of 64. It was devastating to all of us, and especially Papi Pierre, who died from a broken heart 3 years after losing the love of his life. As I got older, I started hearing and reading more about the disease that took my mamie away and ruined my summers. I realized that cancer does not care who it attacks. I read about people losing their lives to the disease. To name a few, Senator John McCain, Ted Kennedy, President Biden's oldest son at the age of 46, a friend of my parents at the age of 40, leaving 4 beautiful children behind, and my mamie. Fast forward to last summer, I wanted to volunteer my time and experience what care does to cancer patients. During my time with Dr. Cynical and his staff, I learned about a 39-year-old mom of 2 daughters who have been diagnosed with the same disease that took my grandma's life. The Care Foundations, by doing what no other foundations or oncologists can do, was able to use a vaccine created from the patient's tumor cells that attacks the aggressive growth. After 7 months, several MRI scans show that for the first time, the mom had a period of time where she is stable. Her quality of life is improved, which provides optimism and hope for their family. I wish care existed when Mamie was struggling. But I'm grateful that they are here standing side by side with families until the end. The Care Foundations work to make sure that patients in the South Sound region have access to leading medical research right here in our community, so that eliminating the hardship of travel allows patients to remain with their loved ones during the treatment while they battle for their lives. But it is a long battle. I'm here today to urge your support for the Care Foundation in its fight against this dreadful disease. Like Mother Teresa said, yesterday is gone, tomorrow has not yet come. We all only today. Let us begin. Please let us begin now and join me and my family to support CARE, Dr. Cynical, and the dedicated researchers who are working tirelessly to search a cure for cancer and who give hope to all of us. Any donation is appreciated. Thank you and enjoy your evening.
Well, good evening, and welcome to the 2021 Beer and Bites. You know, it's that night we all get together once a year and try to support and do our very best to carry on the great traditions that the South Sound Care Foundation has been doing for years in their fight against cancer. So we want to thank all of you for being here tonight. You know, it's a Saturday night. I'm sure you have some other things you'd enjoy doing. In fact, being right here with us. We're at the waterfront venue where we normally have the auction. We look forward to next year where we're all together. This year we're going to have to do it virtually again, but I want to thank you again for all being here and taking it in. So welcome to the 2021 Beer and Bites. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Jim. Just a reminder that the silent auction is going to close at 6 o'clock, right before the live stream. So please make sure you're all signed up, you're logged into Greater Giving. We need to make sure everyone knows how to do that. The live auction items are up now, and it has some amazing bidding going on. And they will close live tonight. So when Jim says sold, that means sold.
So we have a couple of suggestions to make it work well for you tonight. One is possibly have two screens. Maybe you do the streaming on either a laptop or your smart TV, and then go to your phone and register, get your profile if you haven't done that already, get your credit card online. And to do that, all you have to do is go to sscare.ggo.bid and hit Get Started, and it'll walk you through the process. But it really works well to stream it on one platform and then go back over to your phone and do the bidding. So that's one idea to make it more easy for you tonight.
All right, well, you'll know you've done it right when you see your name on the main page, just like I have it going on my phone now. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us at YouTube chat or on the help number that's listed on the bottom of the screen. In fact, we're watching this live, so say hi to us in the chat because we're going to keep watching that. Don't forget, make sure you're sharing your videos of yourself at our virtual event. You can post them directly onto our Facebook page. Like Jim said, we were so hopeful to have all of you here in this amazing venue tonight, but due to circumstances, it just didn't fit to put 600 of us. But next year, Jim, we will be back.
Right. And you know, Mary, it's kind of cool because last year it was basically just us and the team that are doing the production. This year we have like 4 tables of people here, so at least we got a little noise. If you hear background noise, it's because we do have a few tables of people over there having a beverage and a bite to eat, and makes it feel like we basically have a little bit of a crowd, and so I hope you can hear that at home, and it's a lot of fun. You know, the silent auction actually closes at 6, so you only have a few more minutes to bid on that. And then at 6 we start the live auction, and we're going to close the live auction tonight. So each time we sell an item, it closes right then. Raise the paddle you can do further on, but the live auction is going to close tonight at the end of the night, so each item will actually close. Silent auction, again, just a few more minutes. So if there's some great items in the silent auction. So get over there, take a look at it. You got I think about 10 minutes left, maybe a little bit less. Check it all out. We're going to come back to you and go live with the live auction just in a few minutes. So once again, thanks for being here, and we'll see you in a few.
Compassionate use drugs are extremely important, and Care Foundation not only brings the availability to patients to be tested and to learn about their disease, but the access to those drugs, which is not a lot of centers can provide, and amazing. Isn't that neat?
If a patient has the opportunity to participate in a large clinical trial, that may very well be the best option for them. But in this unique situation where there really isn't a trial available, but there is good treatment or exceptional treatment available, the compassionate release trials are a great mechanism.
The compassionate use program brings hope to our patients. Typically, for most patients, the situation becomes when we exhaust most of the FDA-approved treatments. So that's where typically the compassionate use come in. Or sometimes we know that something might be extremely effective, and we can maybe reduce some of the side effects of the more approved treatment options. So then in that case also, that's something we could bring to our patients.
Having access to that kind of system where we can actually access some of those off-label drugs that are proven to be safe and effective in other diseases that could be used in this case, that could actually make a difference in the patient care, is just amazing. In our community, we have access to these drugs because of Care Foundation.
Collaboration really matters in treating patients with cancer. It requires a desire to communicate among doctors and specialists and researchers. And with that collaboration, by discussing patients' situations, their cancer, the molecular makeup of the cancer, their clinical condition, scientists in the lab, immunologists, molecular biologists can come together with clinicians, with the patient's doctor, and help make really educated, effective decisions regarding the patient's care.
We want to cure cancer. We want to beat cancer so that we can live normal lives and be happy with our families and friends. So I would encourage anyone to support Care Foundation. It's a novel cause. It's for our community members, but it helps anybody outside of our community because the knowledge we get, we learn from this and how we help patients. It also helps others as well, and this is a good cause.
What the South Sound Foundation is providing, the service they're basically providing to our patients, it's something that us as individuals or a group might not be able to do so because they have the expertise, they know the system, they know how to kind of make that possible for our patients.
I'd love to have research in our community kind of united to bring all of us together, to bring the hospital systems, the healthcare systems together, MultiCare, CHI Franciscan, our organization, all together in the same, with the same intent to develop clinical research for the Tacoma and South Sound community, including Puyallup, into a major force for fighting cancer.
Welcome to Beer and Bites.
Thanks very much for attending our virtual event. And thanks so much for all your generosity over these years.
So let's go, follow us.
I'm Sally Glover, Executive Director of the South Sound Care Foundation. Thank you for the effort you made to join us tonight. COVID threw us another curveball this year, but you rolled right along with us, and we are so grateful to you. We're also grateful to the more than 40 sponsors who joined us this year and raised more than $320,000. And when we told them of our change in plans, not one person changed their mind. So we are so appreciative of the generosity and the support and what that'll enable us to do in the next year.
We just want to make sure that we give a big shout out to everybody who's made this event possible over the years. Our sponsors, and to Gordon Rush for providing our venue.
You know, so many people from around our community have supported South Sound Care and supported this event. People involved in the construction industry, finance, medicine, the pharmaceutical industry. We're very grateful to all of you for helping us carry forth this mission. It's really what allows us to do what we do in taking care of patients and bringing more options available to them.
Good evening and welcome to 2021 Beer and Bites. As Jim said earlier, we were really hoping to have all of you here, sitting here, and Jim running around through the tables and enjoying each other's company. But unfortunately, due to COVID, this is how we're going to do it. And just like last year, we made a difference in the lives of others doing this, because cancer never did pause. So as Sally said earlier, COVID did throw us another curveball. We've been overwhelmed by the incredible support of our community leading up to tonight. Even in these challenging times, 44 sponsors joined us for Beer and Bites, totaling over $320,000, starting this event tonight. So thank you for rolling with us, even though we're virtual. God bless you all. Like Sally said, nobody asked for their money back, which is a great thing. Thank you to the Rush companies, our founding underwriters, who continue to walk alongside us year after year. Thank you, Gordon and Tracy. And joining Rush this year as underwriting sponsors are Active Construction, Brinks Law Firm, Diamond Structures, Gilchrist Auto Centers, Gray Lumber, Heron Group, JM Corp & Sons, Tides, I always say that wrong. I'm sorry. You're a pharmaceutical company. You'll understand. Spinnaker Property Management, Tacoma Plumbing, Team Arno, Windermere Real Estate, and Virginia Mason Franciscan Help. Thank you to all of those sponsors. What do we say? Thank you. Throughout this event, you've also seen the incredible generosity displayed by multiple times, and you'll be seeing it tonight by our pink ribbon, yellow ribbon, and blue ribbon sponsors. This event would never have been possible without the generous items that were donated, cash donors, in kind. Thank you so much for always answering Sally's call, or anyone on their committee, myself, and joining us in a quest for a cure. Cancer never paused, and neither did we. God bless you all. And now we are so fortunate to have a local favorite and volunteer auctioneer extraordinaire, Mr. Jim Borgen, joining us tonight. Jim and I have been together at Beer and Bites for several years now. Usually I'm looking for him somewhere in the audience, running around between the tables. And we're looking forward to raising some incredible money tonight to support the South Sound Care Foundation. Welcome, Jim.
Well, thank you, Mary, and thank you to our great crowd out there. You'll hear them clap a little bit. As we mentioned, we can't wait to get her back. This venue 2 years ago was still a place they stored boats. Now it's a full-time venue, and you got to get here next year. It's going to be fabulous. In the meantime, we're going to do what we do, and we're going to raise some great funds to support the South Sound Care Foundation. But you know, we wouldn't even be here to start with if it wasn't for one person, because one person is the guy that makes this go, and that's the founder, Dr. Frank Senecal. So I'd like you to welcome Dr. Senecal.
Thank you so much for attending and tuning in. We're really excited to have you here this evening and looking forward to a great evening. Your generosity will touch lives that you may never really appreciate, but it'll have a huge impact on what we do these next few years with so many patients. So thank you very much. Mary.
I think it's time, Jim. This is what you've all been waiting for. Hopefully you have your phones ready, your iPads ready, everything else. As many of you know, the silent auction has already closed, and we are here with some unbelievable live items. And Jim, have you seen what some of the bidding on these live items is already?
Yeah, there's a great start already tonight, right? Online.
Okay, now remember, we're gonna put two at a time. So I'm gonna introduce them. We're gonna have 2 items each go round. You're gonna have 4 minutes. And don't forget, if you don't wanna just keep clicking because you're too busy filling your wine glass, there's like even a max bid. It's just money. Just click the max and no minimum. It'll just charge your credit card. So we're gonna start off with item number 1 and item number 2. Jim, what do you think?
Absolutely, let's go, Mary.
All right, item number 1, you can be a pilot brew day here at Narrows Marina. You're gonna join Parker Rush at Narrows Brewery, and you're gonna make a small batch of top flight beer. You're gonna get to design your own beer, your own taste. You can bring a few friends. Knowing Parker, he's gonna break out some special beers for you to taste with him while you're making this. I'm sure it'll make yours even better. After a few weeks, you're gonna get to come back and enjoy your draft beer in the tap room with Parker. So that's gonna be item number 1. Item number 2 is Suncadia for 4 nights. Everybody is gonna enjoy this amazing 5-bedroom, 3-bath home. It's got a fire pit, a hot tub, a 60-foot flat screen. You won't run out of things to do up in Suncadia. You can golf, you can hike, you can ski, whatever you want. This is the ultimate family adventure, or just you and some friends and don't take any kids at all. Let's go, Jim.
Well, thank you, Mary. We only have 3 minutes, so we got 3 minutes to sell both of those items, and we're going to start with the first, which is right here at Narrows Brewing. Parker Rush, the new owner here, has done a fabulous job, and right now we have a $850 bid from Mark Nelson. Mark Nelson, who is a rock star, a real rock star. He's a member of the Beatniks, also a local attorney. Those guys drink a lot. So let's get it up. $850 right now. We got $850 now. We're moving it up in $150 at a time. So we have $850. Looking at $1,000. $850 now. Look at $1,000 now. I got $850. $850 Mark's in right now. Want to get $1,000. What a great time. You can make beer up to 46% alcohol here. That's what most of Narrows Brewing is. So you want to make sure you're here to make whatever you want. What a great time. Bring your friends. You can, I think it's set up to 8 friends you could bring in.
Yeah.
What a great time. So we're looking for $850 right. We have $850 from Mark right now. Looking at $1,000. All right, let's going to move it up here on the. We're going to Suncadia for 4 nights right now. $5,000. We have a $5,000 bid. $5,000 from Amber. Thank you very much. We're looking at 5 now. Want to move it up to 6. $5,000 now. Look at a 6 now. To get a 5. I have 5,000 now. Look at a 6 now. To get a 5. Right now at 5. We had such great bidding early on that it took us up to some pretty high numbers. Started at 1,000 earlier today, right now at 5. So we got 5 now, look at a 6. All right, let's move back to the beer. You can bid at any time on either one of these items. Now we've got $100 more. Ellen McVicker's in the house at $950. Thank you, Ellen. $950 now to get a $950. $950 now, looking for another 100. That'll make it $1,050. $950 now, Ellen's in. Let's go back to Suncadia, see what we got at Suncadia right now. $5,000. Amber Mazak's in at $5,000. $5,000 now, we want to move it up to $6,000. $5,000 now. Actually, we'll take $5,500. Somebody bids. Looking for $5,500 now to get 5. 5 right now. Move it back if we can. We're going to run short on time here. We're at $950 still. Ellen McVicker is in on the beer. $950 now. Look at it. We're looking for another 100. We're looking for $1,050. $950 right now. $950. Anybody can bid anytime. All you have to do is push that little button on your phone. You'll be happy. Right now we have $950 now. We're looking for $1,050. Move it back on down to Suncadia. We're up at $5,500. Ed Mayer. The McDonald's King is in the house. $5,500. $5,500 now. That's the price of Big Macs just went up in Gig Harbor. So here we go. $5,500. $55 now. And we're looking for another 1,000 or another 500 makes 6,000. $5,500 for Ed. What kind of time do we have here? We have 23 seconds. Let's move quickly back. We're at $950 still. Ellen McVicker is going to be making some beer. I know her husband. This isn't enough. I think he isn't bringing friends. He's drinking the whole thing. All right, here we go. Let's move it back. Let's move it back one more time. $950 there. Still at $5,500 for Ed. $5,500. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. Sold on my end. I still don't know who got it because there's a bit of a delay here. We'll have notice of what that is shortly. Thank you for bidding. Those are great numbers, way over market value, which is what we want to do with these. It's not about market value. It's you getting a great deal and us supporting the South Sound Care Foundation. All right, Mary, what's next up?
No, it's not about them getting a good deal. It's just about supporting the South Sound Care Foundation.
Right. Yeah.
So,
who cares about you and your deal?
If you're here for a deal, you went in the wrong door. You got to go over to the brewery. So, anyway, thank you so much, and please remember that we do have a little bit of a delay here. So, sometimes you may be bidding and we just haven't seen it yet, which is hence why Jim is not saying exactly who got it. But we are now on to item number 3 and item number 4. So we have the Big Dog Sailgate. Joe Bordeaux reminded me I wore my Husky attire. I didn't even think about that when I got dressed. But sailgating at a Husky game at its finest. You're going to get aboard the Big Dog and join the Miles family and friends as we cruise from Mercer Island to Husky Stadium to cheer on the Dogs. And you can choose between UCLA, Oregon, Arizona State, or WSU. And we all know that that is a rivalry game. You're going to cruise around Lake Washington on the 94-foot, I guess you wouldn't call that a boat, that would be a yacht. The 94-foot Big Dog. You're going to have food, beverages, 4 seats at the game in section 304 on the south side of Husky Stadium. And I guarantee you it's going to be good food and a good time. And item number 4, I know you've all been waiting for, and that is the Nashville trip for 4. You're going to experience the heart and the soul of Nashville, Grand Ole Opry, stores of country stars. You're going to get a Hilton gift card to cover 2 couples anywhere, any Hilton hotel you want down there, 4 gift certificates to the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum with over 2 million artifacts. You're going to get a tour of the historic RCA Studio B, where over 1,000 hits, including Elvis and Carrie Underwood, who was just at the fair. You're going to attend the Grand Ole Opry. You're going to have dinner at multiple different places, and $1,000 American Express to cover your airfare and meals. So yeehaw, you know this is a trip that's everybody's been waiting for.
All right, Mary, very great. Very great. Anyway, I was a cougar. So anyway, the Big Dog. I've actually done this trip several times over the years. The Miles family is fantastic. You start out on Mercer Island, they take you right over, and you get to be right against the dock. The band comes and plays for you. The pep band comes and plays for you there at the dock. I mean, if you're a Husky, because you couldn't get into Pullman, this is the ultimate experience, really. So it's a fun day at a Husky game, and you get a choice. Look at UCLA, Oregon, Arizona State, the Cougs. So if you want to see a loss, then you can go for the Huskies if you want to go to that game also. Fun day. So see, right now on the bidding on that, we have $1,750. Mr. Nelson's in the house again. So Mark Nelson's at $1,750. We're raising that at $250 a time, so it'll take $2,000 to get in there next. $1,750 right now, look at it, $2,000. All right, let's move it on down, and we'll see how we're doing as far as Nashville. $5,500 for Dan and Barb Koval. There we go. $5,500. What a great bid that is. What a great trip to Nashville. So $5,500. We're taking that in right now. $5,500. Let's move that on up. Right now, still a Dan and Barb. Let's go back. We have 1.5 minutes left in bidding right now. Mark Nelson's still in at $1,750. We're raising that at $250 at a time, so we're looking for $2,000 on the Big Dog trip. So we're looking at $2,000 right now. We have $1,750 with Mark. We're raising the other one at $500, the Nashville one, still at $5,500, Dan and Barb. That's a great bid, but we really hope you don't get it. We hope we get another bid on top of that. We have about 1 minute left, $5,500 right now. We'd love to get $6,000 if possible. $5,500 right now, look at it, 6. Let's move it right back and see how we're doing on the Big Dog, $1,750, Mark Nelson. I think he is a Husky. He didn't do real well in school. So right now he's at $1,750. We're hoping Mark moves it on up a little bit. $1,700, $1,750, looking for $2,000. We'll take them one more time back to Nashville. We're at 39 seconds left to bid. We're at $5,500 still. 55. We had such great bidding beforehand during the day. I look at the bidding list here, and there's a lot of different names of people that have been bidding. So we want to thank those that have been bidding all along. It's just sometimes it gets really way up there. Not high enough. We got 55 right now. We'd like to get $6,000. 55. We got 20 seconds left. One more time. Let's drop back over to the big dog and see where we're at. Still at $1,750. Mark Nelson in the house. Hal, let's beat him out of there. Let's get $2,000 if possible. Right now we're at $1,750. So we're at $1,750 and we're at 6 seconds, 5 seconds. One last look at Nashville. Still at $5,500. 2, 1. Time's up. Wow, it goes quick. We'll have a winner for you in a moment. There we go, Mary.
All right. Well, thank you. And thank you to the Miles Resource for the dog gate trip. And thank you to the South Sound Care Board of Directors for donating the Nashville trip.
Yeah, that's fantastic. All these donations make a big difference. And really, we have a lot of fun with the live auction items and the silent auction items. And we make a lot of money off those items. But the next time, this period we're coming up to is where we really bring home the cash that we need to do what we're going to do. And that's in Raise the Paddle. All of you have probably been to an auction before and know that giving just because you believe in this program is why you're here. There's not enough items for everybody to buy these different things, but there is a bidding list or a bidding level for everybody that's here. But one more time, we're going to bring Dr. Cynical back to say a few more words. Let's hear it one more time for Dr. Frank Cynical.
Thanks very much. So it's my pleasure to just say a few comments about South Sound Care Foundation and what you all are supporting this evening. You know, there have been a lot of advances in cancer treatment and research in the past 35 years while I've been practicing. Some of them huge, like just what happened 40 years ago up in Seattle when the first transplants were done for acute leukemia. All of a sudden, a curative therapy was identified for a disease that was otherwise incurable. But most of the advances occur slowly. They occur gradually, and they occur in little steps. They occur because a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, to bring a novel, new therapy to save more lives. And that's what South Sound Care Foundation is all about. It's about bringing those unique therapies to our community. It's about partnering, cooperating, coordinating, working with those in the community to bring the best that science has to offer to our South Sound, to our parents, to our spouse, to our kids. Many times the best treatment might be a clinical trial. And thanks to our relationships here in Tacoma, where there's so much good research that's done, as well as our relationships with those up in Seattle at Swedish and at the University of Washington, we oftentimes can get our patients to the right trial for the right problem. You know, but sometimes the trial's in New York, sometimes it's in Texas, sometimes there is no active research trial that we can get our patient on for their specific problem, for their unique individual problem. Thanks to a partnership that we have with a company called Innova, a biotechnical company, as well as relationships with pharmaceutical companies and the FDA, we can very often access clinical treatment for patients, unique, novel treatments that can make a great deal of difference in their care. We're aiming at the cure, and cure is really the Holy Grail. You know, so many different kinds of cancers that we're faced with. Cure was never on the list, or never a term that was used when we spoke about them previously. But now, lymphomas, melanomas, even metastatic lung cancer, which was a death sentence, patients now are living longer, and yes, we can include the cure word in some of those instances for those patients. Sadly, that doesn't always happen. Sadly, some of our patients don't get that cure, don't have that option. And that means that they're very often receiving multiple therapies over a period of time. They're on a marathon. It's no sprint. It's a long, long race. And at South Sound Care, we do everything we can to identify the best options for those patients. Frequent meetings, analyzing the molecular changes in the cancer, looking at the immune characteristics of the cancer and their own immune system, all to try to uncover that option, that key that might allow them to live longer and better with good quality of life. I'd like to see Tacoma recognized as a center for research. And I know that that seems a little bit strange, but we can do that with your help. Tacoma has a great history of doing clinical research, and South Sound Care is here to try to make that happen. It's our job to access the best that science has to offer. South Sound Care doesn't have any plans to be exclusive. We're inclusive. We build partnerships. We build relationships. That's the way we're going to get to more cures. We're not going to compete with Seattle, with Fred Hutchinson Center, or the University of Washington. We're not going to compete. We're going to collaborate. We're going to build bridges. We're going to build knowledge. And we're going to build more cures. I'm happy to say that we have a relationship now with CHI Franciscan and Northwest Medical Specialties, a collaborative relationship to bring some more of those potential treatments to patients at those institutions. And we're working to develop those relationships with Multicare, with the Puyallup Tribe, and with Madigan. You know, it's all about hope. It's about hope, isn't it? It's those little instances. It's those Sunday dinners. It's those graduations, those marriages, and those births. That's what we're after. That's what we want to give. Hope is what it's all about. And there are two people that we want you to listen to in the next few minutes, Bruce and Megan, to describe what research meant to them and how it gave them hope. I want to thank you all for attending, and I hope that you can find it within yourselves to be generous this evening to help us carry out this mission.
Last year in January, I found a very small, about the size of a eraser, tumor in my breast, and immediately within seconds of them putting the ultrasound machine on me, they immediately yelled down the hall to ask for a mammogram. 2 days later, they called me back in for a biopsy, And then 2 days after that, they called me to let me know that I had cancer, breast cancer. About a week later, I was in the doctor's office again, and that's when they let me know that I had triple negative breast cancer, which is a really extremely rare and aggressive form of breast cancer. I am so grateful right now because my kids, are 4 and 6, and this treatment is giving me hope. It's giving me hope that I'll get to see both of my kids lose their teeth. I'll get to see my daughter start preschool in a few weeks. I'll get to experience life moments that I haven't been sure that I've been able to be there for and experience.
She's a very special young lady, a big fighter. She has little children and she would like to survive.
I'm Bruce Allen. We, as a family, had a cancer journey with breast cancer with my wife Diane that we shared with Dr. Senecal, and I just wanted to share our story. At the time, we had just adopted Audrey, so she was about 4 months old, and our son was about 4 years old. And she was reading a book to my son one night and just felt something, on her breast. That little tiny lump had spread, and not only did it go to the first couple, every single lymph node on that side had cancer.
Diane was absolutely determined and motivated. Very positive lady, knew exactly why she was there. She was there because she wanted to watch her kids graduate from high school, that she wanted to enjoy that next Christmas, that she wanted to fight this cancer with every breath that she had. We began to understand that certain medications could block certain pathways that this kind of cancer used. Medications that were off the shelf that had been developed for other reasons were effective in blocking these pathways. So there was a series of options that we had as Diane fought this disease that became available to us, that thanks to research and to science took us down a path over a period of several years that proved to be quite effective.
I really believe coming back here and accessing all the things Dr. Senecal had access to, I believe it extended her life, years and years and years. Both kids have a lasting memory of their mom and were shaped by them really throughout the rest of their lives.
After testing my tumor, we found an immunotherapy that we knew would work for my tumor, however, it was not typically used for breast cancer. So that's when the CARE Foundation really stepped in and helped me get the drug that I needed that I wouldn't have been able to get. Each one of these drugs, each one of these treatments are so extremely expensive. And if it could save somebody's life, that's awesome, because a lot of people don't have that option, and then they gotta choose. Do you go under and not pay your bills so that you can afford a medication that may save your life? Or do you find something like this foundation that may be able to help you out of a hard spot?
That kind of system where we can actually access some of those off-label drugs that are proven to be safe and effective in other diseases that could be used in this case, that could actually make a difference in the patient care, is just amazing. CARE Foundation opens up a path for these patients to survive and go back to their normal lives. There is so much more work to do to cure cancer. Young people like Megan still have to survive to see their children to grow, and for that we need enormous amount of effort, energy, work, and of course to support all that, resources.
Pushing forward with research for our community is where we're going to find more cures, is where we're going to see more moms with their kids, more grandmothers with their grandchildren, more dads being able to stay with their families. That's the key. better research. We need your support in order to do that. And we're going to continue to make progress in that goal.
When we first got our 18 months to live talk from Dr. Senecal, on the way home, I said, Diane, we got to start talking bucket list. And so she did put together quite a list of things she'd like to see, much of which involved travel, even around the world. And I'd have to say, we pretty much got through that list. And of course, for me, it allowed, you know, an extra 7, 8, 9 years with Diane.
I'm really hopeful that this will be an opportunity for me to get to experience many more family opportunities with them, and also just things that I want to do in life that I don't feel like I've completed yet, that I feel very hopeful of what's to come. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for saving my life. It's been a long battle, and I knew I was going to get emotional talking to you about it, but I'm just so grateful. My son just lost 2 teeth, and I wasn't sure that I was going to have an opportunity to see my kids lose their teeth, and it's small things like that every day that I'm just so incredibly grateful for your care and the amount of knowledge and the way that you study breast cancer is like nobody else I've ever seen or heard of, and I just want to say thank you.
We're gonna continue in this journey together for a long, long time.
Yes, you're stuck with me.
I'm stuck with you, and you're stuck with me.
Deal.
Deal.
No one can speak to the benefits of South Sound Care like those that have been treated, the patients, or the family members, as we just saw in that video. But we all know it could be just as easily
You got it. It could have gone the other way. Let me help you.
It could be
here.
someone we know,
Yep.
a family member, or one of us. So I ask you to keep that in mind. Sorry about that. As we go forward, because I don't know that we could have something more important that we're trying to raise money for. And I mentioned earlier the importance of Raise the Paddle, and it's where we raise most of the funds. So, Mary, where are we at tonight? Sorry about that.
That's okay. Just remember, this isn't the part about buying a trip or taking home a fabulous package, but this is the most important part of the night. And I understand, Jim, I watched this video numerous times prior to tonight, and it's still absolutely it just takes my breath away. And this is why we're here. This is the exact reason we're here tonight. So each year, we are absolutely amazed by the incredible generosity of our community and your desire to make a meaningful difference in the clinical cancer research options available in this community, just like Frank said, here in little old Tacoma. So this year we're going to start our fundraising at a new level. And because of the generosity of a few people, I would like to thank Tony and Debbie Poniano and the Oscar T. and Olivan Hochul Foundation for making the bar a little bit higher this year with your incredible opening donations of $50,000 each. That is $100,000.
So that was 3 people at $50,000. So is that right?
There's 2 people now. The third we're going to talk about later.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
So
okay.
we have at least $100,000 to start with. And so that's a really stretched level. We for sure don't expect everybody in the room to be giving $50,000. As I mentioned earlier, we will have a level for everybody in the house or at home. But what a great start. We've never started with $50,000. That's fabulous. And we want to thank those folks for that very generous giving. And when we do that, we always try to give somebody else in case they decide they want to do that also and we don't know they're out there. If there's somebody else who would like to give $50,000, just hit the button right now for $50,000. It's easy to do. Just go ahead and hit it. And at the meantime, while we're talking about that, I also want to tell you there's a lot of people, just like they were bidding before we got to the live items, a lot of folks were going in and doing the raise the paddle. And so we've got $2,500 like from Kelly Turner and $500 from Brianna Senecal, and the list is jumping all over, but it's the Missy and Jim Elders gave $500, and you know, we've got $30,000 from John Connolly. Wow.
Jack and Angela Connolly. So
and
he doesn't go by John very often unless he's in the
more
courtroom.
formal here.
Yeah,
all right. Well, I mean, so we aren't going to get to say everybody that shows up on this screen, but just know we thank every one of you, no matter how much you give. We may not mention your name, but there's a lot of giving going on right now, and it's scrolling up and down on this screen. So, well, let's move on from 50. What's next?
All right. Well, my next level was going to be 25,000, but God bless Jack and Angela Connolly for coming in at 30,000. Again, another new level. Amazing community supporters. So, thank you, Jack and Angela. Now we're going to move on to the 25,000 level, and Jim, I'd like to tell you, we actually have two people at 25,000. Amazing individuals, Gordon and Tracy Rush, who have been here through it, holding our hand, keeping this train running, and someone that I know CARE impacted very, very much. And when Frank talks about that extra birthday and that extra grandson and granddaughter, I know these people personally. They mean a lot to me. So thank you so much to the Gilchrist family for also $25,000.
Wow, that's fabulous. And when I add that as fast as I can for my English major, and it looks like we're over $200,000 already probably with what we've got. What a great start to the evening. So anybody else would like to give $25,000, that's fabulous. So 25 grand is the number right now. And again, I saw that the Lions were in for $7,500. Thank you, Jeff and Susan. That's fabulous. 5,000. I don't want to read all these because some of them might be there, but Dr. Carl Anthony Blau gave 5,000. 10,000 from Philip Pla, was he on your list?
He's on my, now you're taking it all away.
I'm
supposed to read this.
So what's the $10,000 wins?
We actually have scripts, but you all know me and Jim, we just wing it. So that means you don't know if we made a mistake or not. So actually, we have another level that isn't really usually a level, but this foundation has been very supportive of our cause, have always been there to answer for us. And we would like to thank the Names Family Foundation for a $20,000 gift.
That's fantastic, Mary.
Yes. And I think we'll just go right on down to the $15,000 level. And we actually have a $15,000 giver also. Tim and Kristen Wynn, who have always been huge supporters also. So thank you, Tim and Kristen. All right, now you're going to talk about that other $50,000.
Right on. So Ed Mayer and Sally, is it Sally?
Yes.
Ed and Sally Mayer, who bought something recently on the live auction. They've always come forward and said they'll give $50,000 if we can match that 50 from the $10,000 level down. I think we're going to blow that away in about 2 seconds. But the mayors are basically pledging $50,000 as long as we hit that 50 going forward. That's a big number, so
yeah. So we're going to start that. We're going to start that at the $10,000 level, and so we actually have someone at $10,000. Thank you so much for Mario Aparicio and Laurel Wesselman, absolutely amazing supporters, attorneys here in Tacoma, for starting us off with $10,000. Anybody else?
Yeah, no. Philip Pla, I mentioned, 10,000.
Yep.
There's a lot of others that we'll mention as we go forward at some other levels. There's a lot of fives, and you might mention some of them before I get to it.
We have Glenn Graham at $5,000, Brian and Aaron Ho at $5,000. And please remember Scott Walker at $5,000.
Scott Walker gave $5,000?
Yes, yes.
The biggest tightwad I know, and he came through tonight. That's awesome.
Clint Coons at $5,000. And yes, they spelt his name right and everything. So remember, whatever we're getting right now is doubled. So the mayors are matching this up to $50,000. So I think you can, now please remember, it doesn't matter, and I see a hand waving from a little elf in the back, and it looks like Jeff and Ellen McVicker just gave us $5,000 also.
I'm sorry, but to call Jeff an elf is probably not appropriate.
I didn't say elf.
Oh, okay.
No, elf.
So,
no.
And so we have 5,000 from Glenn Graham. Did you happen to mention that
I
one?
said his name
and Clint
first.
Coons. Okay.
I got that
Okay.
too.
Yeah, you can see it's coming up on
And
the screen.
Matt-
It's not
yeah.
our usual deal where we're
Yep.
seeing a hand raise here. So.
And now we're on to
great
the
giving.
2,500, and I see Manford Sharmark, Manford from BMW Northwest. Thank you so much, and thank you for always being a big supporter. We also have Mary Kamatras at $2,500. Kidder Matthew, the Frame family at $2,500. Come on, guys, don't
That's
get quiet
awesome.
now. Matt Gray at $2,500. I see Jeff and Nancy Edwards at $2,500. Larry and Sheila Marie Melness at $2,500. Cappy Names, I see your name in here on top of what the Names Foundation gave. God bless you all. Please remember, it doesn't matter what level, just hit your phone. It doesn't matter. We're just going to go through every single level, and you push it whatever's comfortable.
So did we mention that we had $5,000 from the Cynicals? I see
No.
that up there. Frank and Mary have $5,000. $5,000 from Dan and Barb Koval. Did I say it
Koval,
right
you
this
got
time? Very
that.
nice. Another $5,000. It's crazy how many people are giving at really high levels. It's awesome. Again, $2,500 is the last level that we mentioned, but you can give it obviously at any time, any amount. We're just going kind of down the levels and seeing what pops up here on the screen. So what was the next level?
We have a $1,500 level next.
Okay, did we have somebody on that list?
We do. We have Leanne Killip. Leanne Killip at $1,500.
$1,500, and we'll give that a moment. In the meantime, I'll read something. $2,500 from Greg Hersey. How about that? That's awesome. Another $2,500.
Yeah. Greg and Casey Hersey and Gary and Pam Hendrickson just gave $2,500. Where's the top of the, can I see the top of the thermometer? Wow, look at that. I know we can bust 400 easy. Come on.
Yeah, we're at 377
That's
now. I see
right.
Matt Gray from Gray Lumber gave. That's
right.
That's awesome. $2,500.
Gary and Pam Hendrickson at $2,500. This is just amazing. We also have a $1,200 one in here for Craig and Pam Taft. So thank you, Craig and Ann, for your $1,200.
All right, let's move to the $1,000 level.
I think so. We have a couple thousands. We have Mary Loomis, Neilman Gray, and Janet Snyder all at 1,000. Let's see who else comes up.
Well, we have Steve Yester at 1,000 and Nilma Gray. Nilma's name just disappeared there. She's in 1,000. There she is, Nilma Gray for $1,000. So right away we had a couple more 1,000. Mary Luvis at $1,000. Thank you very much. The Bordeaux's came in. Joe and Carrie came in at $1,500. Thank you very much. Vicki Selden at $2,500. How about that? It's just fantastic giving here. And it's funny, not very often do I raise the paddle where I keep having to go higher than the number we're at, but that's what's happening right now. So thank you very much for your generosity.
Gail Patterson just gave $1,000.
Thank you very much, Gail. Susie Kennedy Gray is at $1,000.
Yep.
We'll give the 1,000
guys.
a little more time here because that's a popular number. And can you screw again?
Can you screw this up?
I'm screwing it up. Can you go down a little bit further? See what the, I'm sorry, up a little bit, I guess. Up is down to me to see what the total is right now. $385,000. That's awesome. So almost 386.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the next level?
We're going to go down to $500.
$500. So we'll go down a little bit here and see what we have. We've had so many big givers here today.
And please remember, like you said, Jim, you can punch any amount. There's all kinds of different levels or a custom amount on your phone. So just because Jim's at 500 doesn't mean you have to change it to something else.
And if you want to give it every level, that's okay too. It all works for us. So $500 is the number right now. Again, every dollar counts here at South Sound Care. So we're looking at $500. We'll see. We'll scroll down a little bit and see if we had some 500 ones earlier. Oh, there's all kinds of numbers in there. Brianna Senecal gave $500. Kelly Schneider gave $500. Missy and Jim Ellers gave $500. Bruce Cox gave $1,000. Bruce and Barb, thank you very much for $1,000. Some of these guys,
Joel Beckerman gave
at $500. Dave and Colleen Crouch at $500. Bryce Dilly at $500. Trevor and Cassandra Will at $500. The Glovers, Dan and Lori at $250. Stephen Kitty Politakis at $1,000. There's a lot of giving here.
Okay, so we're gonna let the live keep going because we know that you still have a few live items to still bid on, and we don't want to keep you going on this and have you fall asleep before this. So please remember, we are not closing the live stream right now for where you can click. On the Fund and Need, we are going to leave that open. So you can bid tonight, you can bid tomorrow morning. We won't close it. But I bet you we can hit 425,000.
Yeah,
I think we could do
right
that.
Right before we get off, what are we at right now again?
Okay. So with that, we are going to move on to our next two live items. We're sitting right now at $389,250. So please help me get to that goal of $425,000. I know with this community, we can make a difference. So let's go on to items number 6 and items number 7. Well, this new item number 6, the Seattle Kraken. You can't even get seats. 2 club seats and a $500 gift card. This is the inaugural season. Many of you probably watched it last night. I hope they aren't kind of like our Mariners. You know, they took it right down to the last, I think, 90 seconds before they scored. I actually watched the game. But you're going to be able to go to a home game in 2 club seats, private access to their club lounge, non-hosted premium food, and you're going to get a $500 gift card that you can use either a hotel, Kraken merchandise, beer, wine, go to your favorite restaurant, whatever you want. So 2 tickets this year's inaugural season. Thank you so much to Victoria Wodarski for those tickets and Mary and Kevin Byrne for the $500. And now item number 7. You've all been waiting for this. It's getting unbelievable bidding. This is the Montana Trophy Deer Hunt for 2. This is a dream package if you're a deer hunter. The owners of Birch Creek Ranch, located south of Big Sandy in north central Montana, are going to serve as your host and guides for up to 2 licensed deer hunters for a 3-day hunting trip. You're going to explore over 16,000 private acres. At the end of the day, you're going to come back to their unbelievable ranch, house, kick back by the fire, have food, drinks, airfare and grounds transportation are included. I happen to know these people, and I guarantee you this is an experience of a lifetime.
All right, we just have a minute and a half, so we pushed it up a little bit. So we're going to start right here. Gretchen's in for $2,250. Gretchen Griffin, $2,250 on her first item. Fear the Kraken, $2,250. Oh man, that is going to be a lot of fun going to NHL games right up there at the old Key Arena. I think it's Climate Pledge now, but $2,250 right now for Fear the Kraken. Let's move over to the Montana trip. $6,000 right now. Miss Deborah Jo Landis is in at $6,000 for a great hunting trip. As Mary described, it's going to be a first-class, world-class trip. So $6,000 now on the hunting trip. We got 52 seconds left. Let's move on right on back to the Kraken. Still at $2,250. What we have found is the bidding during the day has been much better than we thought it would be, and that's why we've shortened the time, because these numbers we're starting at are really nice. So $2,250 right now for the Kraken with Gretchen Griffin, and we'll move right back on down. We got about 33 seconds left. $6,000 for Mary Jo, and $6,500 now. Frank and Mary Cynical in. Oh, Mary's a big hunter. There we go. So $6,500 right now for the trip. So Frank will stay home.
Do you think Mary has a deer license?
Well, she's going to have to get one. Right. 14 seconds left. Let's move back. We got Gretchen still at $2,250 for the Kraken. Very nice. We'll move right on back to see if we get a last-second bid. Still $6,500. The trouble when Frank and Mary bid, who wants to beat out Frank and Mary? I say beat them out. They're not that great of folks. Anyway, let's keep it going. We're down to 0. I'm sorry. We'll see who won later, but I didn't see the countdown that time. So no time left on the clock. Let's hope the Cynicals get that, and we'll get back to you with that. Mary, what's up next?
We'll announce all the winners. We'll announce all the winners at the end, and you probably already know because you're probably watching it on your phone. So, number 8, number 9, Belize for 7 days with airfare for 2. You're going to have a beautiful 2-bedroom condo in Belize, 3 miles north of San Pedro. This place, if you've never been to Belize, amazing restaurants, unbelievable beaches. You're going to hop on your golf cart and go anywhere all along the island. It's a 2-bedroom unit on the 2nd floor. You're going to stare at the Caribbean Ocean, and you're going to get 2 round-trip airfare tickets with this. I know that this is an amazing package, and it goes big every year. Thank you so much to Matt and Christine Snoop and Alaska Airlines. And, Belize, they just started flying there from Alaska. Number 9 is fly to Roach Harbor for dinner. You're going to have a scenic flight from the Tacoma Narrows Airport to the San Juan Islands, piloted by Matt Smith, the president of Rush. He's donated every year. Thank you, Matt. So you're going to go on a mutually agreed upon days. Keep your eyes open. Maybe you'll see a pod of whales, whatever, but I know you're going to have fun. So let's go, Jim.
All right, we got a little less than 2 minutes. Here we go. First off, we'll start with Belize. What a fabulous trip for 7 days. And we have $7,000 bid already. Mark Melsness in for $7,000. What a great bid, but it too can be beat. I know some of the phones aren't as fast, so don't wait till the last second. I know I talked to Scott Walker earlier. He's got an iPhone 2, so I think he's probably going in a little bit early. So here we go. We got $7,000 Mark Melsness now. Let's move on up, and we'll see on the Roach Harbor trip. It is at $2,500 from Julian Arroyo. You know, Matt Smith has been a good pilot in the past. He had some issues. He's landing and taking off much better. I think he'd be totally safe. You might want to go on this trip. What a great way to go. You just fly on up to San Juan. You have a great dinner. He brings you back. What a great time. So right now we're at $2,500. Julian Arroyo is in the house there. Let's go right on back and see where we stand. We're at $7,000 still with Mark Melsness on the Belize trip. $7,000. We want to push that up. We're trying to push that up at $1,000 at a time, so we'd like to get another $1,000 on that. We got 52 seconds left on the
Roach
bidding.
Harbor just changed. Let's flip back to Roach Harbor.
All right, let's go back to Roach Harbor here. See what we got. And there we go. Oh, 3250.
Yeah.
Kristen wins. She's a brave soul. All right, isn't that nice? 3250. We'll continue that on. We're bidding that up at $250 a minimum at a time. 3250 right now. Kristen's in the house. We only have less than 30 seconds. 26 seconds left. $7,000 still on Belize. Mark Melson is still on that one. So continue on, and let's go back down and see. We've had some bidding there on the flight up to San Juan. Still at $32.50 for Kristen. We have 13 seconds left. $32.50 for Kristen Wynn. Only 10 seconds left. You need to jump in now if you're going to do it. One last look. Let's take it to Belize. Still at $7,000. That's a great number. We're blowing out the market value, which is fantastic on every one of these items.
Harbor just
and
changed.
We're out of time. And let's see what the last Roach Harbor thing we had was. That's all right.
Okay.
We'll catch up with it.
All right. All right, we're on to items number 10 and 11. Number 10, the Sitka Lighthouse and a full day of charter fishing. How many of you can ever say you stayed in a lighthouse up in Sitka? That's right. You're going to get to stay in a completely remodeled 2018 lighthouse. You're going to stare at the Sitka Crescent Harbor. You're going to have a water taxi bring you there. There are kayaks, a hot tub, a barbecue, satellite TV, so it's not like you're on a private island with nothing. It sleeps 6 people. It has a chef's kitchen, 1.5 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms. You're going to have wraparound decks, 360-degree views of Sitka Sound. You can watch whales, sea lions, so forth. And then to make it more customized, you're going to climb aboard a 29-foot custom boat for fishing all day. And you're going to get halibut, salmon, rockfish, line cod, 4 guests. You're going to be out for 8 to 10 hours. Please remember there's also a heated cabin inside for people like me that don't be liking to fish out there. So reservations are going to be made anytime between May 9th, or already booked for May 9th to 12th. Thank you so much, Friends of South Sound Care and Mr. and Mrs. Mike and Teal West. This one also, item number 11, dinner with Frank and Mary Senecal. I probably don't really need to say much more than that, but our founder, unbelievable home, Frank and Mary are going to have a dinner for 10 people. They all fit at their table, and you're going to hear every story you want to. Thank you so much, Frank and Mary.
All right, thank you, Mary. We're going to start off with the Sitka Lighthouse. They've done this in the past. It is so cool. I think you've probably seen pictures of what you're going to get there. And right now we're at $5,500 from Dr. Carl Anthony Blau. Thank you very much. $5,500. Let's move that on up. $5,500. We're taking bids of $500 and more at a time. So let's see if we can get $6,000. Right now we have the Blau, Dr. Blau on that one. Let's move on over to the Senecals dinner. Dinner for 10 with them. Can you imagine that would pretty engaging. I can imagine the kind of hosts they are. And right now we're at $1,500. Dr. Blau has that too. I think he wants to dominate this particular bidding process. He's at 15. Thank you, Dr. Blau, but we hope you don't get that one. So $1,500, that would be a great evening. You imagine with 10 people, that's $150 a person. That's crazy low. So let's move that one up. $1,500 right now for a great dinner with the Cynicals. Let's go right on back to Sitka. $5,500 with Dr. Blau still. 55, looking to move that on up to 6,000 if possible. So $5,500 right now. We only got 33 seconds left in the bidding. Okay, we're going to go back on over to the Cynicals house. $1,750. There we go. Ed Mayor's in. There we go, Ed. $1,750. Dr. Blau, come on, get back. $1,750 right now with Mr. Mayor. 20 seconds left. Let's go right on back one last time and see what's happening with Sitka. Oh, we're up to $6,000. Greg Hersey's in the house. $6,000. That guy gets so seasick, I wouldn't even want to be on that boat. So, but $6,000 there, very nice. Let's move one more time, real back to the Cynicals. $1,750. Ed Mayor's in right now. We're down at 3 seconds. We're going to stop there now, and we'll see how it ends up after the delay. So, great bidding. Thank you very much. Mary, what's next?
Thank you. Items number 12 and 13. 12, Walla Walla Wine Country Getaway for 6. Andrew and Courtney Brown, and you've seen the new Brown tasting room in Proctor. They're going to invite you to their private family vineyards for 2 nights at the Waterbrook Estate Bungalow, seated on 75 acres in Walla Walla. You're going to get a wine tasting at the Brown Tasting Room in the heart of downtown, and this bungalow overnight looks absolutely amazing. So thank you to the Brown Family Winery. Number 13, our Love Seahawks. Club seats for 2 versus Jacksonville Jaguars, and dinner at Jimmy's on First. So you're going to watch on October 31st at 1 o'clock, kickoff, club seats, section 201. And then you're going to have Jimmy's on First gift card for $200. Thank you, Stan and Martha Fleming and Monarch Landscaping, because you're also going to get to take home a Michael Dixon football that's laser autographed as your memento.
All right, very nice. Let's start with the Walla Walla and see how we're doing. $4,000 right now. Scott Walker, $4,000. Nobody wants Scott to win anything, so let's push that up a little bit. Right now we're at $4,000. So $4,000 right now from Scott Walker for the Walla Walla trip. Let's see what's happening with the Seahawks. Right now, Mr. Connolly's in at $1,500. You know, the Jaguars are favored to win the Super Bowl this year. What a great chance it is to catch a great game. So right now we're at $1,500 with Mr. Connolly. Let's go right on back and see how we're doing on the other one, on Walla Walla. And we're at $4,000 still for Scott Walker. $4,000 now. We're trying to move that up if we can. We're taking that at $250 at a time. Both of these are getting $250 each time you go up. Right now we're at $4,000. We'd love to be at $4,250. Right now $4,000. Scott Walker's in on Walla Walla. Let's move on back to the Seahawks game. $1,500. Mr. Connolly's in the house. $1,500. We've had great bidding on that. There's several bidders there. Right now he's the top dog. So $1,500 to John Robert Connolly. Let's move it right on back. There we go. $4,000. Scott Walker still in on Walla Walla. I hope you're waiting to the last minute so that he doesn't get it. But right now, $4,000 from Mr. Walker. And we're down to about a minute. So we still got a fair amount of time here. We'll go on right on back and see how we're doing on the Seahawks. $1,750. Oh, Scott Walker's in on that. He's getting greedy. $1,750 there. I think he's getting paid too much at Rush, personally. So right now he's at $1,750 for the Seahawks game. We have $4,000. Let's go back and see how he's doing on the Walla Walla. He's in at $4,000. Thank you very much, Scott, for that. Right back again. Seahawks, $1,750. So again, everybody can participate. It doesn't have to be just Scott. So jump on in as you see fit. Right now we're at $4,000 and $1,750. We're at 27 seconds, still at $4,000. That is a fabulous trip. I know Leanne will like it as well. Right now we're at $4,000. Let's move it back up and see. We're at $2,000. Have a new bid. John Connolly wants to make sure he gets it, so he's bid $2,000 now on the Seahawks game. We're down to 10 seconds. We'll take one last look now over at Walla Walla. Still Scott Walker at $4,000. It's looking good for Scott right now. One last look at the Seahawks. $2,000 for John Connolly, and we're out of time. We'll see how that ends up in a few minutes.
All right. This is going to be really interesting at the very end to see exactly who got what. I am actually tracking it on my phone, and the girls are keeping track of it. But these are our last 2 items. Item number 14 and item number 15. So if you haven't had your chance to hit for Fun and Eat or buy anything, this is it. Seabrook for 4 nights. Everyone can use a getaway, especially a local one like this. Go to the beach, relax, enjoy yourself, take bike rides, walk. You're gonna sit and over the bluff, look at the Pacific Ocean. You can walk to anywhere in 5 minutes in Seabrook. 4 nights in the Pacific breeze. It's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath house right in the middle, away from the hubbub of the retail area. You also all have private bathrooms. So you can take 4 different couples, whatever you want. Thank you so much to Susan and Ed McGuire, Justin and Chandra Rappel, and South Sound Care Board of Directors. Item number 15, a spa day for 4. This is the ultimate pampering package. Grab 4 of your friends. Your tribe head to Hand and Stone in University Place. You're gonna go into the couples room, let the stress wash away, and Hand and Stone esthetician Chelsea is gonna face map you. You're gonna get facials for all 4. I'm gonna put wine and cheese with that, and you're gonna get LED light therapy. This is your ultimate beauty kit. Everyone's gonna get to take home a package. Thank you, Mary and Kevin Byrne. And so I am gonna include wine and cheese. It doesn't say that on there, but I'm gonna just throw it in anyway.
Very nice. Thank you, Mary, and thank you for the donation. Let's start at Seabrook. A lot of you have probably been there. If you haven't, Seabrook is really cool. What a great getaway. Not very far to go. And right now we have $3,000 from Amber Mazak. $3,000. That's a great bid. 4 nights down there. You know, you look at how many bedrooms are there. You take a lot of friends. What a great time to get away right down there at the ocean. So right now we're at $3,000 from Amber Mazak. That's fantastic. Let's go back to our day at the spa. And what cracks me up on this, it says the facial is a corrective. So I think I need a facial. But we're at $1,050 right now. That's fantastic. $1,050 from Kristen Wynn. So that's a great bid. Back up, we're at $1,150 now. Amber's right back in the game. So we got a little competition going between Amber and Miss Wynn. So now we'll go on back to Seabrook, see how we're doing there. $3,000 right now, Amber's. So Amber's on both of these right now. She's got $3,000 on the Seabrook trip. When we're at 43 seconds before we're going to shut it down. So we're at $3,000 right now, and let's see where we are back on the massage and the day at the spa. $1,250. Kristen Wynn still in. That's fantastic. $1,250 to Kristen. We're down to 27 seconds. Let's move it one more time back to Seabrook. $3,000. Amber's in at $3,000. Anybody can bid. This is kind of your last chance. This is the end of the live auction tonight. So get in there, throw your number around. Right now we're at $3,000 with Amber with 13 seconds left. One last look at the spa day and see where we are. We're at $1,250 still with Kristen on the spa. And one last look, 3 seconds left. See where we end up at Seabrook, $3,000. So it looks like a sweep there. And so $3,000 for Amber. We've run out of time. We'll see where those end up also. So some fabulous bidding on the live auction. We want to thank all of you guys back home, including the folks here that all have their phones out and are going to work. And I think overall, Mary, that it was a very successful night on the auction.
It has been. Thank you, Jim, so much for your help. And before I bring up our last guest to say thank you, I would like to, on behalf of the South Sound Care Board of Directors, I would like to take a minute and thank Sally Glover and her amazing staff for making this all happen tonight. Without Sally, Jim and I wouldn't look anywhere near as good. We wouldn't have all these scripts written, and we wouldn't probably have half as many items. So thank you so much to Sally and her team. And I would also like to thank our research team. Dr. Senecal said it best. I know, Dr. Senecal, you've seen Dr. Blau in the video. We have Swathi, another physician from Northwest Medical Specialties. But being the chair of the board, I have seen their work. And the research team we have, including our new hire, Jamie, your countless efforts for these patients and what you do for them is not forgotten. So without any of our research team, we also wouldn't be here, and our physicians. So Frank, Dr. Blau, and the rest of the physicians at Northwest Medical Specialties that spend so much time giving for others, we give back to you. Thank you so much. And now it is my pleasure to bring up our next guest. He doesn't really need an introduction, but he's the reason we're at this venue tonight. and he has been the greatest supporter of Beer and Bites since this started 7 years ago. Please help me in welcoming Mr. Gordon Rush.
Oh, am I on? Okay, yeah, thank you. This is weird. Okay, first of all, how lucky are we to have Frank Senecal and the Care Foundation? It's incredible, his dedication and selfless sacrifice that he makes daily for all of us, all of our family and friends and loved ones and everybody in the South Sound. And this continued journey of Frank and the Care Foundation is obviously hugely important to all of us because of the turnout, because of the grassroots, because of the volunteers. Anyway, Frank, you moved us all today with your speech. I'm moved. I'm touched. You've touched thousands of people, and you continue to touch thousands of people, so we thank you and really appreciate what you do for all of us. This is grassroots. Jim is donating his time. Mary's donating his time. Everybody's here because they want to be here. I didn't make one call this year to, can you give, can you do, whatever. I had people texting me today that are, all around the United States saying, well, nobody called me. I'm like, well, you can give. It's okay. You can give. And they did. You can see they did and continuing to give. You can give tonight. You can give tomorrow. You can always give to the Care Foundation. But I want to thank Mary. I want to thank Jim. These people come every year. They do a good job. Let's give a big round to Mary and Jim. And it sounds like there's a lot of people out there. There's about 10, well, okay, maybe 30 people out there. And you need a little bit of a crowd to kind of get you going. I hope for all kinds of reasons that we can be live here next year and celebrate this together. We have so much fun as a group, as a community. We all get together here in the venue, and I just hope and pray that we can be live next year and not have to do it, I guess, well, through the internet. How's that? Through the internet. Anyway, I say this every year. I will keep doing this, and I think all of you will keep doing this because it matters and we're making a difference. So thank you all for the generosity. And you can keep bidding. I'm going to go sit down, but you can keep giving. It's okay. It's okay to give. And thank you all. And have a good evening.